So today we're going to be talking about standard form of a line and the x and y intercepts that appear on a line. So standard form of a line is useful when you're trying to find the x and y intercepts. Intercepts are coordinates where the line crosses either the x or the y axis. So we see here how we have a line. Wherever this line touches the y axis, this red line touches the axis here, that point is the y-intercept. And then wherever this line touches the x-axis, that is the x-intercept. Right? And that's kind of what we talked about here, is the point where the line crosses the y-axis. The value of x is 0, right? So when this line touches the y-axis, we know that the x value is 0. When we're talking about the x-intercept, the point where the line crosses the x-axis, well, the y value is 0. So again, this line that goes here, as soon as it touches the x-axis, we know that the value of y is 0. We know that for sure. Most lines will have both x and y intercepts, which means that most lines touch the x and the y-intercept and the y-axis at one point. When we talk about special cases of a line, basically we're talking about horizontal and vertical lines. So a horizontal line only has a y-intercept, right? We can see that this horizontal line only touches at the y-axis, so it only has a y-intercept. The slope of this line, or the rate of change, is 0. There is no slope. We can see how it's just a straight line. There is no change, either positive or negative. The equation of this line, well, whatever the value of the y-intercept is, that is the line. Y equals b. And we got that from our y equals mx plus b, right? So if we have a slope of 0 or a slope of 0, this cancels and goes away, which means that the equation of the line is y is equal to b. When we talk about vertical lines, the vertical line only has an x-intercept. And we can see how this line only touches the x-axis. The slope of this line is undefined, which means that we cannot define it. So if we were to think about this, I'm just going to use right here, our slope equation is equal to our rise over our run. Well, if we have a run, means going from left and right, for this line here, well, there is 0 change in the left and there's 0 change in the right. So it would be rise over 0. Well, we know that any number divided by 0 is going to be undefined, which is why our slope of a vertical line is undefined. The equation of this line would be x is equal to, again, whatever value along the x-axis this line touches. So if this is 3, for example, x would equal 3, or whatever point it touches along the x-axis. So, first example, find the x and y intercepts for this line here, 2x plus 4y plus 8 equals 0, and then graph the line. Okay, so to find the y-intercept, or where the graph touches the y-axis, substitute x equals 0 into the equation, right? So if the line touches the y-axis, we're trying to figure out what that value is, we know that the x value has to be 0 because that is where the y-axis is. So if I go ahead and just plug in the value of x to be 0 for 2x plus 4y, I would get 2 times 0 plus 4y plus 8 equals 0. Well, this completely eliminates. I'm left with 4y plus 8 equals 0. 4y equals negative 8. Y is equal to negative 2. So the coordinates of my y-intercept are 0 and negative 2. So at 0 and negative 2, I can plot that point. Okay, found the y-intercept. To find the x-intercept, substitute y equals 0 into the equation. So again, when it touches the x-axis, we're trying to figure out where it does, we know that the y is 0. So substitute y equals 0 into the equation. 2x plus 4 times 0 plus 8. And I'm getting 2x plus 8 equals 0. X is equal to negative 4, which means that the coordinate is negative 4 and 0, right? Because we know that the y is 0, and then we found x to be negative 4. So if I go ahead and plot that, negative 4 and 0. Just like that. Our last step, we're going to be plotting this line. So I simply draw through it as best I can. Whoa. Drawing through those points. So that would be the line represented on a graph. I'll label the line. So this would be 2x plus 4y plus 8 equals 0. Second example, find the x and y intercepts for the line 5x plus 2y minus 10 equals 0, and then graph the line. Okay, so same thing as we did before. If we're finding the y-intercept, or where the line touches the y-axis, we need to set x is equal to 0. So I know that would be 5 times 0 plus 2y minus 10 equals 0, which gives me 2y is equal to 10, y is equal to 5. So then my coordinate is 0, 5. Or when x is 0, y is 5. So I go ahead and plot that. X is 0, y is 5. I'm looking right there. Second piece, to find the x-intercept, substitute y equals 0. So 5x plus 2 times 0 minus 10, which gives me 5x minus 10 equals 0. X equals 2, which means that the coordinate is x is 2 and y is 0. So x is 2 and y is 0, which looks like that. And then going and graphing this line, drawing a line through those 2 points as best I can. Something like that. So then that would be the line 5x plus 2y minus 10 equals 0. So hopefully that sheds some light on the idea of what an intercept is. Basically where the line touches, I'll go back down, where the line touches both the x and the y axis. And in order to figure that out, we set one of them equal to 0 to find the other, and then vice versa to find both of those points.